Alrighty, guys, how's it going today? It's a Sunday early evening, and we're about to take a bike ride around Austin here. Life is a lot like a ride, and the journeys in life need preparation as well, right? And so, by preparing appropriately for a ride, I've learned the skill to prepare for a lot of things appropriately. Back here I have a cargo bag, and there's a frisbee on there in case I meet up with Hank or somebody else that can throw a frisbee a little bit. And also I have inside of here, I have an extra shirt, and I also have extra gel. Here we are in the garage about to take off on the ride. So let's do it. We're going to ride around Austin a little bit. So I'm kind of hungry, so somewhere along the line we're going to have to find some food, and that might even be the first stop. So we'll see where the ride takes us, though. It's kind of nice to leave without knowing for sure. And here we go. We're off. And wave goodbye. See you in the next stop. All right, checking back in with you from the ride here. And kind of a disappointing update here is wanted to go to the 1910 Fresh, but you'd think I'd know this about one of my favorite restaurants, but yeah, there you go. It's Sunday and it's closed. So, but there's other options, fortunately, and we'll seek out one of those options soon. On with the ride. Well, you guessed it. The Golden Arches are always there for you, right? As much as I put McDonald's down, I am always happy when they are here when I need them. So.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Hello. I was wondering if I could order a quarter pounder with cheese and a large French fry. And that'll be all.
Or with there anything else?
That's it.
Alright, total will be $8.18 at the first window.
Okay, thank you. Wow, no line.
Just a quarter pounder and large fry.
All right. How's your day going?
Good, you?
Pretty good. Do you mind being on my video for my students? I'm a teacher.
It's alright.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Agelin, yours?
What's that?
Agelin.
Agelin? Okay, I'm Dan. Nice to meet you.
Have
Thanks
a
a lot.
nice day.
Yeah, you have a nice day too now. Oh, here we are. Here's food. Thank you for your help. Have a nice day. All right. So, we don't have the bike lock, so we're going to have to either eat outside or figure something out. So I'm going to take off now and figure something out, and I'll check back in with you when I do get it figured out. Okay, guys, well, the solution I came up with was to stop at Riverland College, where I have access to the studio 24/7, and I'll take us inside. And this will give us all an opportunity to see where I go when I say I go out to the college to work on my volunteer work. And this is what it looks like. Now, I'm going to get things set up a little bit, but more importantly, I'm going to eat, because if I want to be known for anything after this year, it's for having my priorities straight. Right now, that's a priority. Well, here we are in the studio, and you'll notice there on the computer each time I make a sound, there's a little diagram drawn there. In the audio right there, this is where we do the Bike Rides radio show right here in the studio. Here is the equipment that we have in the studio. There's CD players right down below. Above that is a microphone distribution. And up here, these boxes here are what run the radio station. This is what sends sound back and forth between Mankato and Austin, where we have two studios that are essentially the same station. And here is the board that I work with, the audio board, and this is my microphone. We turn it up and down. You can also see up here, the meter moves up here as well. We just redlined. There's about a good volume right there you'd want to be talking at. I'd want to record about right there. And these other channels, we call them, are what run CD players and MP3 players and the computer, all connected and communicate right through this board. Microphone right here that I use, and there's also, to have guests in the studio around here, we have multiple microphones. There's 4 of them right there. And oh yeah, who's that, right? That's Andrew the Lion. We call the radio station KMSK the Lion, and KMSU the Maverick. So there's your Lion. That's the mascot for the radio station. And Hank sits right here when he does the radio show with me. He's here for, I would say, probably more than half of the shows anyway. Hank is with me, and he's a guest host, guest co-host, and sometimes I do it alone, sometimes with Hank or other guests as well. And a lot of times we have bands in the studio, and the bands can perform here. We can have live music, and I'll set them up here, and I'll use all those microphones to kind of balance the sound out and send it over the radio. It's really fun to have bands here. In the back of the studio then here, there's a little open area where the bands have to set up equipment and stuff if they want. And I have it kind of like a little coffee shop back here, kind of back if guests bring family members and kids or something like that, we'll put them back here and stick them with an iPad or something like that until we're done. And this is our whiteboard in the room, and the whiteboard, I'll turn on the light for this, has been signed over the years, over the 8 years that we've done the show here. We've had it signed by many of the guests, the musicians, some kind of famous, but I don't think any you would have heard of. But some of them are locally and regionally and even nationally famous that have been on the show here. It's fun to look at this board and think back to the years back. There's one from Sina Earhart. She was a blues singer, beautiful woman, and just an amazing singer who was on the national charts, and she toured around Europe and everywhere. But she was from right here in Austin and was a friend of mine before she got famous. So, friends, and here's one from 2017 that I'm really, really fond of, and that's a message from my mom right there when she was in the studio and when she was alive and visited. So that is the Bike Ride Studio, and I have destroyed all the evidence of me eating McDonald's, and I'm ready to get onto my bike and not finish, but continue this ride because it's too nice out to finish yet. See you outside. And out on my ride, and just look who I came across out here. So, how you doing, Anthony?
Good. Great. Wonderful.
Cool. All right. And his brother Amare here. So, yep, I was just out on the trail, or heading toward the cemetery, and came across a friend. So he yelled, and I said, "Hey, I know that voice." And here we are. So, all right, checking out again. We're on the tail end of the journey now. Made it across town again, over to the south side, and we're at the cemetery. I'm speaking quieter because obviously that's what you do when you're here. There's other people here in the area, so I don't want to disturb them. So this is my mother's grave, and I know I hope it doesn't make you feel weird or anything to be here. It doesn't make me feel weird at all. I feel good when I'm here, and you know, whenever I come here after I leave, I feel better than before I came. So I consider it kind of a happy place, to be honest with you. And I spent hanging around here, and I've gotten to know the neighbors. You know, I'm looking around at the graves, and I know who's also, you know, buried here too. And there's some familiar names, people I've known over the years, and their family, at least, that I've known. Lots of them, actually. And then right over here, I know this sounds really weird, but right there in that spot of the green grass, right there, is where Mr. Ehrlich one day will rest. Because my parents, when my mother was still alive, and they bought this space here in this headstone, they bought all of the kids a spot here. So it's paid for. I already have a location. Feels weird, huh? Nah, it doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't. Everybody will die eventually, and you know, it's just not something you think about every day. We'll worry about that when the time comes. And out here, it is a great place to really gather my thoughts. I really get some things figured out from time to time out here, and it's a good way to cope, I think, is to come out and have some quiet time. There's a couple coming over here now in this direction. I think they're going to be visiting graves, so I'm going to hang up for now. Signing out from the cemetery. We'll see you on the next stop. Back on the bike here, and we're going to head down the bike trail a little bit. And we're running out of daylight here, so I am making my way back home down the trail. Gosh, it's been a fun ride, and I reflect and I think how the only thing that really stops me from just riding all night is time. It's not energy. I have the energy for that. I'd love to do it. And it's not desire, because I certainly want to. It's just a matter of time. So and that's why I love summer, because we'll all have a little more time to reflect and get it together, including me. All right, I'll check back in the garage for the conclusion of this year's On the Ride Live. See you in the garage. Well, here we are back in the garage. Really enjoyed the Sunday evening ride. Hate to see it come to an end, but it's getting to be that time. Then I like to reflect a little bit on the ride, and a lot of times I write about rides, so that's how I reflect, but I think it's important to do that as well. Well, it's been a really amazing year, and I know at times it's a struggle for all of us in our room, but when you think about it, when you take this amount of people, and really nobody really has any say as to who is going to be together for the year. We didn't choose all to be together, right? This is what other people have chosen for us, to be in this room, but we're the ones that are together, and so we had to learn how to all get along as best as we could, and of course there's struggles at times, but I want each and every one of you to know that I care about all of you and I respect you very much. All the students, all of you, and the staff as well. I respect you very much, and it was a really interesting experience, and I grew, and I learned stuff from, for the four-wheeler to go by. I learned something from each and every one of you. There's a lot to learn from people if you listen. Okay. Well, signing off for the year. Have a great summer, everybody. Mr. Ehrlich signing out.